Ooh, excuse me. Hey, Donna. Hello, Denise. How are you guys doing today? Might have just a tiny bit of lag. I'm still kind of figuring out the whole dealio and how it all works, but I'm trying to implement in the multiple platforms for the streaming aspect. So I apologize if it's got a little bit of lag. I'm still kind of working out a little bit of the kinks, but I think otherwise we're going to be okay. Separate that out. Move that over there. All right, so tell me what's going on, guys. God, for some reason, it still seems like we're having issues with the Facebook Live. Trying to find it, and of course, I'm working on that. Most of the time, I think I'm just going to have everybody go to the YouTube page, I guess. But I know that there's a lot of people. Hey, Josh Boggs, what's up? I know that a lot of people want to do it through Facebook, which I totally get and totally understand because of the intuitive nature of it and the simplicity of it. But yeah, that's, hey Josh, thanks a lot, my man. It means a lot. I hope you're well. It's kind of trying times for all of us right now. What's going on? Hey Sam, what's up? Oh, Don's got a lag. That sounds like a personal problem, but not really. I want to thank you guys for joining. We'll give it a few more minutes before I get into it. There's a couple things that I want to discuss and go over that. Hey, Andre. Hey, Deanna. How are you guys doing today? I hope everybody's good. I'm going to give it a few minutes. This is going to be more driven towards the COVID-19, the coronavirus. I haven't even watched TV at all today because I just sense that, and a lot of us have some sort of sensory, we're kind of overwhelmed with it right now. But this live stream is all about talking about it, kind of interacting with you guys and how you are feeling through this whole thing. And it's also sports related. It's driven towards the athlete that some of you guys are endurance athletes that have joined. And I wanted to talk about how the stress of what's going on with the COVID-19 and how athletes respond positively and negatively to it. Yeah, and feel free to ask any comments. Hey, Sherry Carroll. Hope you're doing well in Virginia. Just post comments, give us some of your thoughts. Make it interactive for all of us because I think that's really going to kind of expose what this, what's going on. Hey, Bruce Humphreys. Welcome to the live stream, buddy. But yeah, I want to kind of make it free-flowing. If there's any questions, any insight, any thoughts, any input, love to hear them. I mean, that's why we're doing this. Also, too, for those of you who are cyclists, triathletes, and endurance athletes, I am going to be starting a live coaching class. The details will be released probably tomorrow. I did tease it a little bit, but I'm going to be doing a coaching class from my house. And for those of you who have trainers at home, you can join along. The smart trainers especially, there's going to be a couple steps, but I will be coaching the class live. Hey, Dale, what's up, bud? I will be coaching the class live, interacting with you guys as the class goes on. More details about that are coming up. But the reason why I'm doing these live streams, usually I do it 1 o'clock, but I may change it to a little bit later because I know a lot of people are still working, which is amazing to me, especially the frontline people. I'm totally blown away with the people that, we have a lot of doctors that come to Total Cyclist, and we've coached a lot of doctors, and they are under a tremendous amount of stress. So take the stress of what's going on in the world today. Take family stress. Take the stress of trying to train, for those of you who run, swim, bike, or motorsports, whatever you call it, and trying to add that in. Donna just said she just rode her bike outside, saw other people out and about exercising. She stayed her social distance, but good. I mean, who would have thought years ago, hey, Dion, welcome to our live stream. Social distancing and the term, it used to be kind of like an adjective or a noun, but now it's become a verb. And I know, I'll give you guys an example. I was in Mexico for a women's cycling camp for the better part of 10 days. I went up early. I had my intern come. We did a little bit of stuff. Hey, Dion. Hey. Did a little bit of preparation for our women coming down for the camp. And I was detached. I mean, there was a TV in our house, but I didn't turn it on because it was so beautiful outside. And I'm going somewhere with this and how it relates to endurance athletes and just people in general. I was detached. So my stress level was like zero. Outside of making sure that the camp runs smoothly and we had exciting things, it was cool. I mean, I would get a text from people, but it would be like 2 days later or whatever. And so going from Mexico, Zipolite and Huatuco and all these places where the Mexicans, there was like 3 cases of coronavirus down there, maybe. So it was live and vibrant and different and unique. And everybody in the States who were here that couldn't come to camp and had to cancel, they were texting us like, you guys have no idea what's going on. And I was like, you're right. We have no idea. Like none. I mean, zero idea. Hey, Michael Fischetti. Hey, Nancy Hofferth. So really had none. No idea what was going on. So we roll that back a little bit. And I noticed that while we were in Mexico, I didn't notice any stress. I mean, I wasn't under any stress. Even when I was getting texts from home talking about the dire nature. Now, of course, it's way worse now. But the dire nature of it, hey, Layla, hey, Scott, what's up? The dire nature of what was going on, I didn't really fully grasp it being in Mexico. What's up, Chris Okuda? So I got thinking, I was like, man, should we go home? A couple of the divas had to go home early. Some of them stayed. But then as we got closer and closer and closer to leaving to come back to the States, the anxiety level you could see just started ramping up. Like our pace quickened, the way we talked quickened, everything. Hey there, Layla. And what that meant to me, there's a systematic approach to athletes, cyclists, runners, triathletes, NASCAR. That there's an outside stressor that's introduced to a person, and the way that they receive it completely dictates the way that they are going to feel over the next few days. So you could see it was like on a wave curve. And I know we've CNN, Fox, CBS, everybody's talked about the wave. No, I don't have corona. It's allergies. So don't at me. But the wave, similar to the coronavirus curve, is very similar to the way that an athlete receives that information. And what I mean by that is that as we got closer away from Mexico, meaning detached far away, Zipolite, nude beach, margaritas, hanging out, no stress whatsoever. Then as we started counting down to the days that we were leaving, and the more text that we were getting from people, you could just see the demeanor of everybody there. And a wave was starting to build. It's very linear to the wave that we're experiencing now with deaths and sickness of coronavirus. So I started thinking to myself, we need to address this, especially for athletes. So how do we best? Hey, Rick Hofferth. Hey, Innovation Bike Shop. What's up, guys? What's up, Leo? So how do we address this as athletes? Please interject. Give us your 2 cents. We address it by, as an athlete, and every one of you, or most every one of you that have joined this or follow us on Facebook and YouTube, are some sort of athlete. And I know that some of you would go, oh, I'm not an athlete. I ride my bike occasionally. No, if you get your ass on a bicycle or you go for a run or you do anything else similar to that, you get up and you're moving, you're an athlete. And that's what we like to call it. There's the 33, 33, 33 rule that I like to adhere to. Some other coaches do too. If you're a coach, Layla even said she was fine earlier in the week, but as the week is going on, they've started to feel more and more stressed and fatigued. That's that wave that I was talking about. That's that overload of information, whether you get it from your family, from your friends, or from the TV. Now, how does that affect your training? How does that affect your personal? How does that affect your job? And as a coach, I have found that the 33, 33, 33, and forget the other thirds. I'm bad at math. All of you guys know that we want to have all three of those in balance. They're not going to be in balance every day, all day. It may be higher in the personal need level versus the training level versus the work level. But in the end, those numbers have got to match up to equal 100 on one day. But if your stress level is a 60, then you can only do 20 work, 10 family, 10 training. And then what happens then? You're like, oh, shoot, crap, man, I can't get my training in. So you go, I got to get on the treadmill. I got to go for a run. I just watched an hour and a half of COVID-19. The world's falling apart, which, I mean, it kind of is in a weird way, whether it's economics or whether it's family or whether it's the actual death of friends and family. And you go, I got to get on the bike. I got to go for a ride. If you get on the bike and you do it for a stress reliever, don't kill it. Because what happens is that your coach or me or somebody else is going to find that if you get on that bike and your 33s are out of balance and you try to ride hard, or you try to do let's just say your crazy coach decided to do 1 mile running repeats, and you've watched, and a good coach would go in and adjust this. And I'm not calling out I'm calling out bad coaches, because I would hope that everybody's a good coach. But if you don't change your training according to what the coronavirus is doing, you're destined for failure. And why is that? I've learned so many times, oh my God. I've learned so many times that if there's an external stressor, whether it's work, whether it's family, or those two would be in complete conflict. Layla, thank you. Great input. Keep it going. Oh, she grew up on a 33 and a third pool. Aussies, of course you did. How ironic. If you let the coronavirus is like right now a 70% off for everybody. So I kind of think there's like a fourth concept to this. It's probably 25, 25, 25. But right now that 25 for this coronavirus is like a 30, a 40, a 50. And you get on your bike, or you go to the track, or you go into the pool and you try to do those intervals the way that your coach has prescribed them. You're going to have so much in your head. Should I be at home with my kids? Should I be at home with my wife or my husband? Should I be with my significant other? Should I be training and doing these intervals? You're going to do them. You're going to try to do them. You're not, I mean, as much as I think that all of you guys are super people and Superman and Superwoman, it's not physiologically possible when you're under a great deal of stress, which is what this external stressor is doing to every one of you. Me included. Like I did a post today. I don't know if anybody saw it because I've got a very small following on Instagram. I did a post or tweet, and I was like, has anybody noticed, even though the roads are quiet, that people are driving like bats out of hell? Would they normally do it? If it was a holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, I don't care, Yom Kippur, Kwanzaa, whatever, and the roads are quiet and there's nobody out there, Would they be driving crazy? No, it's just like, all right, let's put on some music. Let's drive this thing and have a good time. Today is different. Today is not like Christmas. Yesterday was not like Christmas. Tomorrow won't be like Christmas or another special holiday for you guys because of the stress of the coronavirus. External pressure, external stressors are a killer for endurance athletes. Here's why. Let me go over it. Thank you, Rick. Yep, external stressors. Keep them coming. You have got an guess who wants to make an appearance? The one that's been on strike for the past couple of days. Winnie. Well, guess what? She's going to have to wait a little bit. So you take that external stressor. You try to apply it. Let's call it the 25th because there's broken down into 4 and coronavirus is not 33 and a third anymore. It's 25, 25, 25, 25. Hey, Eddie Thomas. Man, long time no see, buddy. You take these external stressors and you try to live your everyday life. Not as an endurance athlete. I had a client of mine call me today and he goes, what are we doing? And I was like, all right, here's the deal. Your season and most of your seasons, because a lot of you do cookie rides, race, participate, whatever, your season is on hold. And actually, Barbara Green, sports psychologist, is going to be joining me on Tuesday talking about how sports psychology standpoint we can deal with this. I'm dealing this from the coaching standpoint. She's going to tackle it on Tuesday from a sports psychology standpoint. So this client calls me and he goes, what are we doing? I don't know what to do. Well, that adds another thing. Lauren Hall, former pro cyclist and with USA Cycling, is going to be joining me tomorrow talking about what pros are doing to deal with this. But I'm just dealing with this one client and what he did. Hey, Eddie, what has happened is that for this client, everything stopped for him because of the stress. Everything's on pause. Everything is on the kibosh. What are we going to do? So he is getting ready for some big bike races coming up. Squash this one coming up. Squash next weekend. Squash the following weekend. The weekend after that, they're all gone. So he panicked. He was just like, man, not only am I dealing with work, because he is getting crushed at work. Not only is he dealing, his family life is perfect, but between the coronavirus and the season being put on pause for him, I don't care if you're baseball, basketball, football, whatever, this has heightened his sense of, holy crap, what's going on? So again, his balances are starting to tip towards stress. What happens if you're an endurance athlete or an athlete in general and your stress level, which releases cortisol, which is the worst word in the history of mankind? We could probably think of more that are worse. But when stress arises, cortisol is released, and guess what that makes you? Ready to get sick. Well, and it makes you want to eat bad stuff. Like Cheetos. I crave puffy Cheetos. Like I got home from Mexico and I was like, hey, Kirby, that's my youngest, my 17-year-old. You have any Cheetos hidden in your bedroom? Because she hides them from me. Because whenever I start stressing, I start going into her room when she's not around or looking. So don't tell her that. But that being said, that's cortisol that's released makes you get stressed. When you get stressed, you want to eat bad stuff, but it also opens up and suppresses your immune system. And when your immune system gets suppressed, boom, hello, come on, virus. And that is what I had to tell him. I was like, all right, here's the deal, dude. First of all, we've got to get you back in balance. Hey, Blaze. Hey, Robbie. What's up, guys? Hey, Rad Chick, otherwise known as Angie. When he came to me and he was like, again, I'm going to repeat this. What are we doing? I could hear it in his mouth. I could hear it I could hear the like, what are we doing? I mean, what am I paying you for? And I was like, well, first of all, because I think I'm pretty good. I'm kidding. But the second thing is like, trust me, you're going to get overloaded at the end of the season, if in fact it does happen. But more importantly, we've got to keep you in balance because all this work that we have done, and all you coaches can echo and chime in and give me your 2 cents on it. But if you echo and chime in, tell me about how your approach is. But I had to calm him down and go, look, I've got to keep you healthy because if I crush you right now, You got the coronavirus 25%. You've got your, did you hear Fancy? That's her toenails on our new floor. I've got to keep you from overtraining, because if I overtrain you now, man, like I am trying to reduce every athlete's susceptibility, because you may get sick with it, but you may not have symptoms, or you may have very minor ones. But I know that you guys have been pounded over the head with, well, just because you get it and you're not sick, you don't want to give it to anybody else. And that would kill me if inside of the training centers or one of my athletes, hey, Jamie, what's up, Jamie? Another good coach coming on board, checking it out. If we coach athletes and we have them overreaching right now, or even overtraining, we leave them very susceptible to sickness. Now, it could be if you get a sinus infection because of the pollen. I don't know where you are right now if you're watching. If you get a mild cold, if you get, I mean, the flu is still going on. And of course, you know, the worst of all cases would be the coronavirus. So that's what I had to tell my client. I was like, look, and he just came off of food poisoning. So I'm like, just think about it this way. You normally have a door the size of just a regular door, but right now you're an airport hangar. And that door, they slid that hangar door way open. A 747 could fit through there. What about a droplet of coronavirus? So we just can't take the chance of opening that hangar and letting in anything. So you guys as athletes, cyclists, runners, motorsports, whatever, I don't know who you are. I mean, I know a lot of you that are jumping on board, but we can't as coaches conscientiously put you guys in a situation where you want or need to be super fit right now. Because the 33s of life, family and life, coaching, and your personal, and your business life is now 25, 25, 25, and 25. The business side, I mean, we're all working from home. I mean, I'm working from home. I'm doing coaching classes, you know, on YouTube, and I'm doing this. Then the personal life. I know there's got to be a little bit of strain having your kids at home all day long, playing music loud or whatever. We're not used to that. It's like, go away or go social distance yourself, but we can't right now. They're here. So that adds another layer of stress. And then, of course, the coronavirus, which is the other 25. Hey, Nikki Berger. So what I'm asking you guys is the critical component to all this is if you don't have a coach, and there's great coaches on here that you guys can interact with and talk to. If you don't have a coach, you need to have somebody out there that you can rely on that's going to hold you accountable to not do. I know for a fact. I got serious just then, didn't I, with the glasses? I know for a fact there are still, in Charlotte alone, and I know that everybody's joining from different parts of the country. Hey, Nikki, I know that there are still group rides going on. You disagree with me, post it. I'm perfectly fine with that. But cyclists and runners, triathletes, we're all pretty damn healthy. But why would we take a chance? Like my mom, we have so many clients and former coaches and friends or whatever that have a suppressed immune system because of a autoimmune disease or some sort of thing. Why would I take a chance of getting them sick? You just can't. And okay, I'm stepping down. I'll put my glasses back on. So we don't want to increase that risk. So the group rides, the social distancing, I even tried to think of ways at the training center where I could bring people in. It's just not possible because I could get 3 people in there, but then I'd be running the risk of not. Winnie is getting a little feisty out there. Maybe she'll be on the show tomorrow, but not today because she was on strike yesterday. But I think from a social consciousness, I can't do it as a TotalCyclist co-owner. And more importantly, that I just don't think it's fair to anybody else. Now, that being said, we are social animals, cyclists, triathletes. we go ride and we go for a beer. We can't do that now. So that there again goes that stress level going through the roof. So we as coaches, what do we do? And again, coaches, chime in. Keeping the framework of training is so important to support immune health, but keep it chill. Very well said, Layla. Jamie, if you've got any input, anybody else out there that's got their 2 cents, love to hear it. I mean, I'm here as an open forum, as TotalCyclist, but as a way for us to learn and get through this all together. Because, again, I'm gonna roll this back to you for those of you who weren't there. I was in Mexico for 10 days. And I'm not going to be redundant here. I'm just kind of want to reset the table. That's what I do for TV. I have to do it out of every break. Okay, for those of you who have joined, here's what you missed. 10 days in Mexico. I was like, my blood pressure and my chill volume was at a 0 to 1. When I got back, that completely changed everything. I'm still the same person. Hey, Keith. Hey, Donna. Hey, Marnie. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Laura. So personally, my stress level when I was in Mexico for camp was a 0 to 1. Then when I got back, it completely changed. It changed the dynamic of my training. Here, look. There's my bike right there, just sitting there. And I'm going to be getting on and riding it. And you can see right now, well, no sense I'm showing you, but the TV is off. I have it on, but it's sitting there on Roku or whatever. I just turned it off because I was like, man, I don't want to get on a damn bike after watching an hour and a half of Fox or CNN or the local news, because it doesn't allow us as athletes to be able to have an effective workout. So here's my suggestion. And again, coaches chime in. Hey, Ursula. Take a poach, Chad. No crap. Take everything in moderation. No, you don't understand what I'm saying. Take the coronavirus. Detach yourself. I tell all of my clients, or I try to tell them, get out of it. Get away from it. I even did a tweet or a Facebook. I said, get away. Get away. I mean, you can't get away from it if you're constantly focused on it. And I made a conscious decision for myself, and I'm going to relay this to my client. Instead of doing 5 minutes of CNN or local news, do 5 minutes of meditation. It's really easy. Well, no, I take that back. I struggled with meditation for so many years. I'm like, I'm not Indian. I'm not Pakistan. And again, that's had nothing to do with ethnicity. That's where it came from, in my opinion. So I'm like, I can't even fold my legs and get in. But to me, over the years, it's become way more about my mental mindset and being able to kind of cleanse my palate in days like these where the coronavirus is so big. You have to. So meditate. 5 minutes on CNN, 5 minutes on Fox, 5 minutes whatever, turn it off. Meditate. Same thing I do with like alcohol. I know this is a strange tangent, but I'm like, hey, if you want to have a drink, you're a coached athlete for TotalCyclist or another coach athlete or whatever. If you're going to have a cocktail, have a bottle of water with it. You'd be surprised at how well that works. Same thing, coronavirus and meditation. I feel that they're very linear in that respect. You will have a much better. Like I even try to get my daughters to meditate, and it actually works sometimes. Like right now, I'm like, go in your room and try to meditate. And they're like, no, Dad, that sucks. It's so boring. It's like, try it. After 5 minutes, they're like, oh, okay, I'm cool. So do that. Meditate along with, because you tweet, you look at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. By the way, the memes on Facebook, you guys, really good. Oh my God. What did Layla say? I think that while some people might keep smashing it right now, which isn't a good idea, there are also others losing total momentum and mojo right now. So keeping some sort of virtual connections, meetups that are fun and new can keep people going as they navigate canceled races, etc. Exactly. I'll go back to my point, but I want to follow up on what Layla said. Another great coach came on. Hey, Nadia. Man, we got some great coaches coming on board. What Layla said is that people fear during this time, since they can't do group rides, group runs, socially interact for their sport from an athletic standpoint, if they feel that they can't do it, they're going to lose some sort of fitness. It takes 3 weeks to lose fitness, like a good amount of fitness. I just showed you guys my bike. Heck, next week, and this isn't, well, I mean, this is true. Next week, I'm going to be offering free, for the first 3 days, free classes. Subtle plug, maybe, I don't know. 3 free classes that you can join with your Zwift or your Wahoo Element or your Perf Pro or whatever software hardware that you use. I'm going to be providing the workouts, and you guys can follow along, and I'll be coaching the class. You can do it if you find creative ways to do it. That is what's important. Keeping fit. If you keep some sort of fitness without overreaching, well, I think it's personally too early to overreach because we don't know how long this is going to go. And what I mean by overreaching is that you get to the point, because form, the definition of form is fitness plus freshness. And if you overreach, you get to that form aspect. But if you get to form, you might be able to do a mock triathlon in your house. What, swim in the tub maybe? Or a mock race on Zwift. But you don't want to make yourself susceptible to any type of virus, flu, whatever. So what Layla's saying, and I don't mean to speak for you, Layla, is that, hey, Mark Reader, and again, if I'm wrong, Layla, you tell me, but you want to keep some sort of social interaction going, and it can be done just like this. I mean, we could do it just like this. I'm going to come to where I can start inviting people in, other coaches can talk, but I just wanted to test the temperature here and see what people's interests were. So you don't want to make yourself vulnerable. You don't want to overtrain during this time period. You don't want to leave that. Your normal life structure as an athlete is a regular door. But right now, if you're training really hard and you're stressed really hard, and that, I mean, we got a 747 that can go in there. So you don't want to do that. Please post a question or a statement like Layla and everybody else is. If you have, can you help me out with something to do while I'm on the road driving my truck? Yes, Mark. That's a good point. Listen to comedy audible books. Magic. Stress reliever. I'm listening to Kevin Hart's book. Oh my God. It's got a lot of cuss words in it, but it's funny. I just finished listening to de-stress during these times when I was traveling. I listened to Elon Musk's book, which was really interesting. Wow, was it interesting? I mean, I didn't know all the stuff I read. Is reading and listening the same thing? I have a hard time with that. I listened to Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins. I've also listened to, in the past few weeks, a couple self-help books, but those are all kind of, in my opinion, where you are in your life. So that's kind of thing. But I kind of like autobiographies, but I might start listening to some fiction, but I just find it more engaging for my brain to listen, and it gets you away from this stuff. And I keep pointing, my TV's behind you guys. Let's see, Nadia, there are lots of virtual races starting to happen too. I have a bunch of my athletes doing that. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we were talking about just a little bit ago. Wow, what's going to happen is Zwift stock. And that brings me to Nadia Topkin's point, is that her clients are doing virtual races, whether it's whatever platform you prefer. And that's what we're going to do. I like the racing aspect of it, but I'm going to take another approach. I want to take a coaching approach to it. Well, no, I guess that is a coaching approach. It lets you unleash the hounds. Problem is, that's like a drug, man. You get somebody on Zwift the first time, they see KOMs and racing, and they're like, feed me more. Then it leads to potential overtraining. So it takes a great coach to suggest that and to monitor that, because that's, man, that could really bring you to heavy fitness quickly, but can also lead to overtraining. So the social aspect, next week when I start the YouTube coaching classes from my house, I am going to be providing the workout and make it interactive. I mean, I think that's great. Boy, I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but I want to make sure that I get everybody's comments and thoughts in. Layla, get out of here. Hey, Mark, did you see that? Layla knows a guy that has a truck driver's fitness app. That is gold. Actually, I did meet a couple of Charlotte cyclists are truck drivers, and they're coming out to group rides. I think that's pretty cool. Well, the group rides that used to happen. Hey, Melissa. Boy, you're going to be on my target for next week. So again, just to kind of reiterate, fold back to the top, just went through a commercial break. Bump, intro, outro, let's go back. What I'm going to ask you guys to do from a coaching standpoint is to, Rolling Strong's the name of it, Mark. There you go. Look at all these resources we have here. How awesome is that? What I'm going to ask you guys to do is minimize stress. How is that? Spend time with family, which I guess for some people you're spending too much time with your family. Do online stuff like what we have here, or Zwift here. Like I'm pointing to our training center at TotalCyclist. No, we're not here. We're at my house. Meditate. I just crossed my legs because I was getting really serious. Meditation is so huge. And how many of you guys have tried the meditation? Hey, DZ. Donna Zarowski. How many of you tried it? What are your thoughts? I mean, is it, yeah, self-care. You got to have self-care. And that goes through meditation, desensitizing yourself from what's going on. We have noticed that abundance of people are getting out by themselves. It's like so cool, but yet so strange to see people going out. I don't condone group rides and group runs right now. I just don't. After learning what I've learned, I've talked to a lot of doctors. You guys have listened to it a lot on TV, but there's just too much risk for other people that are at risk. And I don't want to be that host that carries it over. All right. I'm done with that. So meditation, reducing your FaceTime to TV, to Instagram. Facebook to me has become like some of the memes out there. If you want to get a good laugh, just scroll through all the perfunctory stuff that deals with, the actual facts of what's going on, and look at some of the memes and some of the thoughts. Like, to me, the most powerful thing I saw, we knew that the communities were going to come together for athletes and for the general public, but to see what they're doing in Italy, I expected it from professional athletes. I expected it from wealthy people. I expected it from the government, somewhat delayed, but I expected it. But from just the common person and the common athlete sharing and caring, singing in Italy, getting out there and praising the frontline people, that's the kind of stuff that can bring your stress level and your blood pressure down. Go on YouTube and I look at Bulldog videos just because I think they're hella funny. But just in general, stuff like that really does make you just chill. And I know that the millennials are really struggling with that. But most of everybody that's probably on this live stream is senior or a little bit older. And we've been through it. Not anything like this, but we have. So, all right, so let's go through a checklist. Meditate, ride, run. Oh, did I mention meditate? Do FaceTime, do Zoom calls, interact. We are so lucky or unlucky that this happened in this generation because we have the ability to be able to reach out to each other. Donna, you're seniorish, Donna Rubin, so I know it. What's Layla do? I have to do it after some yoga to get myself to slow down a bit first. Swimming was my best place to find the relaxation, so I need to find some time in the nature, walking, etc., as a replacement. So true. So Donna's going to forego her birthday this year and will stay my age until next year. That doesn't happen. Even JR will tell you that every year you get older. Digress. Not being rude. Needling. So what I would like, and I'm going to implore you guys to do, we have about 10 or 15 minutes left, and please put some comments down there and ask some questions, because that's what I want. I want interaction. I want your thoughts. I want to be a part of our community. And what I mean by community is endurance athlete community, or just people in general, how we can get through this collectively. So the main point that I wanted to go through this is I wanted to reflect back to the athlete that contacted me and said, what are we doing? And I've heard that from several athletes, whether they're being coached by TotalCyclist or somebody else. Where do we go? What do we do? How do we do it? How do I deal with my kids at home? How do I deal with the job that I'm now doing from home? How do I train from what I'm now doing at home? A fair amount. Take the 25% coronavirus, take the 25% of your personal life, take the 25% of your job, and take the 25% of the other 25% that I talked about. Take those and make sure that they are constantly and always in balance. If they're not, think of it like 4 plants. The 4 plants, if one plant is the coronavirus, the other plant is your personal life, the other plant is your professional life, and the other plant is your training life. If you keep pouring water into that coronavirus plant, the other 3 are going to start wilting. Then you have to start dabbing a little bit of water into the 3 plants, hopefully keeping them alive while you're dealing with the coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. If you keep feeding that plant, other 3s are going to wilt. And if those 3 start wilting, then you're playing damage control. And if you're playing damage control, it really does sacrifice the integrity, the longevity, and the ability for that plant to be able to survive, because you've stressed it. And if you stress that plant, then guess what? You've got to do damage control. And that is what you've got to do. Some people like Donna, Nadia has a routine, Donna has a routine. But what happens if your routines get upset? Because I guarantee you, when I got back from Mexico and I got back, what was my routine? Monday, stay at home, work from here, prepare YouTube videos, etc. Tuesday, go to my location in South End, work a class, have some consult, 6 o'clock. Guess what? That is gone. Detonated. So, what is your routine? How did you change it? Ursula's like, my birthday is coming up in a few days, and it's definitely getting canceled. I don't know if the government have they gone and canceled birthdays too? Man, that would be a pretty. And at what age would that be cool and be sucky? For me, yeah, government, bring it on. Let's cancel my birthday. But for my 17-year-old, don't think that would go over. So is there like a timeline or legislation that we can, sorry, I just got sideways. Hey, Patrick McFeely, co-owner of TotalCyclist, has joined us. Donna, I'm still waking up at the same time and getting dressed to work from home. Now that is a great idea. It's keeping Donna into that scenario where there are some people that like to have that like control, and I don't mean control in a negative way, I mean in a positive way. So keeping that control, even though everything around you is spinning out of control and you have these 4 plants in front of you and one's growing and one's dying and one's wilting and one the dog peed on, I don't know. But make sure you feed those 4 plants equally. No, hell no, kill the corona one and feed the other 3. But unfortunately, that 4th plant is there and it's in our lives now and it is a part of it. And it gets fed in a completely different way. But the way Donna and Nadia, Nadia's getting a do-over in 6 months. I like that. We're going to all get do-overs in 6 months. But what Donna likes to do, from what I'm understanding, and I've worked with her and have worked with her, is that structure in her daily life keeps that's almost like her meditative. Like, it helps keep her focused. It helps keep her on the right track. And when I mean track, like train track, for some people, if they don't have that sense of, for some, especially athletes, especially triathletes, even more especially for long course Ironman triathletes, if you take them outside of their train track, holy hell. I could be wrong. Other coaches chime in, but it's the truth. You get long course triathletes and you change their daily routine, forget about it. So they stay with their routine. Some of them are getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, still doing their workouts, going to the office at home. So if that works for you, keep doing it. But those 4 plants, remember, I'm going to keep going back to it for the new people. Hey, Rick. Hey, Cole. Hey, Bruce. What's up, fellas? I'm going to keep going back to it from a coaching standpoint, that if those 4 plants are continuously being fed equally, I mean, truly, I just want the 3 plants. I want your personal, your professional, and your training all to be healthy plants. But the coronavirus, man, it's like a weed. It's invaded our lives. And for some people, it just isn't healthy for them. Not only, and I'm not talking merely about the people that have got it. Hopefully you guys don't know anybody that has gotten it, but it's turned our world upside down. And we as endurance athletes, bike racers, triathletes, weekend warriors, whatever, we're all athletes. And if we let that weed invade our 3 other plants, our personal, our professional, and our training, everything gets out of whack. And that's what I want as a coach, to kind of not simplifying what's going on, because it's not simple. Eddie said, we are encouraging our athletes to get used to a new normal for a while. Stay focused on the sport. Use some of the ideas we sent them. Design their own home workouts without overdoing it. Spot on, dude. You nailed it. The new normal. Is that new normal going to continuously be this weed that may infiltrate our really nice plants, which are our personal, our professional, and our training? Yeah, I mean, it has. So you can't let these things get out of balance. They will on a daily basis, but it's like there's got to be a correction, because if there is no correction, you will get stress. And when you get stress, you're going to release cortisol. When you release cortisol, you open yourself for sickness. When you open yourself for sickness, you get the flu. You get allergies. Or, heaven forbid, you get the coronavirus. And nobody wants that. And I don't mean to make this like dun, 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 but no, it's true. I mean, I have almost 30 years of experience with this. I've seen it. I haven't seen this, but I've seen what happens to people when they have that imbalance in their life, which is what coronavirus has done to all of us. It has invaded, that weed has invaded our training, our life, our personal, our family, and everything. And if you let that proliferate and you let it grow, and I'm talking about externally grow, sorry. If you let it grow, then that's it. And we are, I'm dealing with people that are going to be sick for a long time. And I just simply don't want that. Just don't want it. All right, we've got just a few more minutes to go. Any additional comments, insight, thoughts? I'm hoping to hold these. I might switch to 6 o'clock or 7. Leave it in the comments what you prefer. I've been doing them at 1 o'clock. And for those of you who are cyclists, triathletes, motorsports, I'm going to be offering YouTube coach classes where you can download the file that I'm going to be using, dump it into dump it into your hardware, your software, whatever, and you can join me. I'm going to be sending stuff out like that. Hey, Lisa Dale. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Melissa Tarantino. So I'm going to be doing these on a daily basis, these free coaching sessions. And I don't know if they're coaching sessions as much as they're us hanging out. Different topics. I've got pro cyclists coming on board to talk about. In pro triathletes, I have a sports psychologist coming on next week, joining me in this so that we could discuss how you guys can deal with it from a sports psych standpoint. Thank you, Lisa. And that's what I want to do. I want to make this a community thing. I want to give back and help others, even if it's in a small way, because there are other people. I had a frontline doctor call me from South Florida, just so frustrated about what's going on. And I had to work this person through it as a coach about what they're dealing with. And it is overwhelming what they're dealing with. So what does that do? That opens up this person and makes them susceptible to sickness. That was Kirby. No. And what's worse? I can't think of a worse thing in this world than have one of our frontliners against this disease susceptible because of stress, the inability to be able to work out, and not being able to spend time with family. I mean, that just sucks. So from a coaching standpoint, I had to go, how can we fix this? So I had to walk this person through on how we're going to fix it. That's what I want to do with you guys. No, I'm not a sports psych. I'm just a coach. An old, long in the tooth with a couple gray patches here. But I appreciate you guys all jumping on board. Hey, Amy Good. God, we got a lot of great coaches and a lot of great athletes and just people in general that have joined this. I would appreciate very much your input, how we can make it better. I'd expect that I'm going to be doing this for a while. And that's unfortunate. But that is where we are right now. So post some comments, post before, after, whatever. I'm going to be doing this at 1 o'clock daily. Again, we're going to have great guests from the professional world all the way down to non-professionals, to doctors, whatever, to help us get through this. And again, I'm going to be offering classes from TotalCyclist. Well, not from TotalCyclist. This has become TotalCyclist now. Training center for one, but live stream coaching sessions where you can get on your trainer and you can join. So that's it. Any questions? I think a chat just popped up. Sorry, let me check it. Didn't miss it. Cool. Any other questions that you guys might have before I sign off and cook? I think the dinner's, I can smell it. It smells pretty good. Yeah, so that's it. Feed your plant. It's so basic on a basic level. Everybody knows it, but just feed it. Don't feed the weed. Oh, might have to hashtag that. Don't feed the weed. Feed the other 3 plants and make sure that those 3 plants are in balance. Or flowers. Let's call them flowers. I like that better. Make sure that your personal life isn't destroyed by or manipulated by or controlled by the coronavirus. Make sure that you're training. I stated it at the outset. Make sure that you're training. If you don't have a coach, talk to other people. And if you're not sure, interact socially. Do a FaceTime with friends and ride or walk or whatever. Social distance, but still, you can still do it with our technology. The third thing, Rick, don't feed the weed. Yeah, I love it. That coronavirus weed. And then the third one is your professional. And boy, is that taking a dinger. Everybody's professional life, the economy's turned upside down. There's nothing we can do about it right now. If you choose to give into it, from my perspective as a coach, it's going to grow that weed exponentially. And that's the last thing we want. And then people, like I said before when we first started this thing, it's Christmas Day and people are driving like they're insane. Like Walmart, no, they don't feed that. Just don't feed that weed. because it will grow and it will be like, I don't know where you guys live, but it'll be like kudzu. I mean, it will grow a foot a day if you let it. So my suggestion as a coach, feed the other 3 aspects in your life: meditate, exercise, 8 feet apart. And that's it. All right, guys, that's going to do it. I will do a reminder through all of our social media accounts about our free coaching sessions that we're going to do on a daily basis, and also our cycling classes coming up. I'm working on the website page right now. But I guess that's going to do it. Thank you guys so very much for joining. Hey, Raven Baker, sorry you missed it. But it'll be up. You guys can reference back on it. Don't feed the weed, guys. Hope you guys have an amazing day today. And that's it. All right. We'll look forward to talking to you guys really soon. Check back in tomorrow, either 1 o'clock or 6 o'clock. Let me know if you prefer either, or I can do both. I'll make it happen. All right. I have no idea what today is. We'll see you guys tomorrow.